The Wild's already reclaimed this place. He's anxious to get back. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot.
Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion.
Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says, but I will not.
And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home.
When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him.
Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad.
But there's a way to put her back together. The shards. We're gonna need all of them to nurse the Bastion back to health. Keep your chin up, kid, I tell him. The city brought the shards to the Wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.
More collecting, huh?
After Zolf's little episode, kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad. But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
Huh.
Don't know where he's gone.
Like the song.
Might be gone for good for all I know. Wherever he is, it's somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go.
Damn right.
The dead and welcome him with open arms. The kid pops him good. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. What do you say to a kid who's seen too much? I'm Zolf of Liura. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, pineapples, swamp weeds, ankle gators. Now the Bastion can send him even farther, into the wild unknown. Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes. He has the nerve to flash the shield he stole. He's a petty thief. The security's just gonna have to straighten him out. Succeeds where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Rondi the bartender? Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's alright, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling.
Hey.
He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Piff, the bull. The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend. His friend. He's come undone too. He sees what's left undone.
This is confusing.
Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to. The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole. Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. Disgusting things. Ever heard of the lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say. Breath on that thing, like a say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Well, a kid prunes it down to size somehow. Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it.
Want a serious challenge? No, thank you.
A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers.
That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place.
The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan. Ankle gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothus Lagoon.
Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. All kinds of beasts we don't know up from down, still lurking about. Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon.
Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. They say you can't hurt an ankle gator unless it's raining. And it ain't raining. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Kid's got a mean throwing arm. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch.
He holds his ground. Seems the Queen's running out of options. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kid's gotta make a run for it. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Can't get hasty in a place like this. Queenie must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait.
Oh, nice.
The shard's sitting in plain view. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. And now he's made her mad.
Oh. Respect. Come on, really?
Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers. Kid's done what needed to be done.
Easy.
Queen Anne's reign is over.
Kinda.
We even got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it. Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city. Takes a lot of moving pieces to make a dependable sidearm. To fix a brusher's pike, you just need a good length of knife bark. They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't. That gator's a crazy gal, but so's the gal who promised to look after her.
What? Lovely.
He ain't all that shy. Still no male. Go figure. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. He's a spitting image of Slinger Jawson with that pike and them pistols.
Oh, I don't want the spike.
The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds.
Alright, so just gonna go and take a quick toilet break and then we'll get the next chart, I guess.
Know how Caelandia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. But now, the greatest outpost past the city line is nothing but a freak show. The army's triggers once had the place on lockdown.
Rifle.
Kid might as well pick up where they left off. Blam! Just like my fighting days. Gun like that can even put the wilds in check. Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done.
slow, to be honest. Powerful,
Whole
but
place
slow.
shudders in a fit. The grand rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works. Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks. Grand rails all grown over with things of calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Kid don't let so much as one of those things slip by. Lunkheads settled in like they own the place.
Oh, that was it. I see.
Takes fancy footwork on the rail, but with wallflowers coughing fungus everywhere. Only one way to cure a cough like that.